Pity it's only on, was it Divine?
Okay. And welcome to our game of Shadowrun. We're up to episode 53 or season 2 episode 11. Today online we have M.
Hello, I play your level Bolt. We did some shenanigans last session, involving some very potent, I guess you call it poison. And we almost failed the run, but Mark managed to do some amazing rolls for me, so Bolt saved the day.
It would have been interesting to see if you had dumped the whole vial in there. Would have been would have definitely given Womp and Flogger a run for their money.
Well, no, not really. We will just won't be associated with you at the time because we just happen to be outside at the moment. At the time.
Yes, but when the people come in gun shooting, would you have just stood there and said we're bystanders and walk away while the rest of the team get gunned down?
Well, it depends on if the innocents were happening too.
So that was where they were at, and everyone was voting for let's make them come in with guns blazing.
No, because I got a sneaking suspicion like Trauma Team would have been fronting up.
That was what the people coming in with guns blazing were, Trauma Team.
Yeah, you don't mess with Trauma Team.
Yeah.
Everybody knows you don't mess with Trauma Team.
Yes, but it would have been someone had just poisoned them, would have been the notification. And none of you had IDs to work there.
What? Work where? I'm outside.
Yeah, so like I said, you'll just sit there and watch while the rest of the team get taken out. So that brings us to the next player online today. We have Al.
So I'm playing Talon, the elf, who is a little bit nuts and loves to party, and who conveniently still has amnesia about her history.
Actually, can I
yeah, I don't know what else to say. You all know me. I'm a business owner, perpetually confident, very little reason to be, and that's her.
Well, is it really hard if you keep getting paid? What was so you were basically saying of the level parties?
Do you not know? But yes,
I was saying the fact that was the reason of the amnesia. Direct level parties.
Would the amnesia be a ongoing effect?
No.
Oh, bugger. You can't be killed by magic then.
Magic fixes lots of things, just not everything. And magic has its drawbacks. So, joining us also online is Jeremy.
Good evening all. Yes, I'm playing Desmond Deadshot, the elf who grew up on the streets of Seattle, dreaming of becoming a member of that powerful, wondrous group called the Ancients, the Elven Go-Getter.
Don't you mean the Crimson Crush? You're going to become an orc poser?
Hardly. But yes, has in the last few months or so discovered that, well, maybe there's actually more to life than the Ancients. She's been apparently inherited a magical suit of armour and motorcycle, but ain't a lot more than it seems to be.
Go Power Rangers!
Okay, so at the table today we have Ross, who keeps wanting to spoil storylines.
Well, I've already told him he's the Green Knight.
Yes.
Yes, but I don't know what the Green Knights are supposed to do other than protect the world against space.
He hasn't actually been told yet.
I thought I told him that.
He's been given some information, but not exactly what he needs to do.
No, because I don't know what he needs to do because they normally work
As
in a
in,
group.
the GM has not said anything to Jeremy about what his character needs to do. It's been you telling him in place of the GM, giving out-of-game information, spending story points to tell that.
And also, of course,
That's what
the
I'm
fact
saying
that-
is, please
okay.
don't tell the story before it happens.
Okay.
But also the what's been talking about this stuff that the suit's apparently connected to, but it's not like they've listened to that, because hey, he's dealing enough with becoming an ancient.
Well, there's archive TV programs you could probably watch.
Not guaranteed that they're still around. There was a big crash and they
Yeah.
did lose a lot of stuff. They don't have access to most of the internet that was there before the first crash.
And it's like, what could they really have known about the world back then?
You got there was big kittens invading London.
Desmond's young enough to know that the world couldn't really have existed or done anything prior to his birth.
Yes, so I play Womp, the fault of Ecky Thump from the BBC Pantheon.
You don't want one at the moment?
Healer, and also looks like a wannabe alchemist, but doesn't fully know. He knows the basics, but that's about it.
Leave it in the fridge.
Suffering from a blood curse, from a unfortunate stopover to Hong Kong, which he never really wanted to go there in the first place.
Well,
Not very-
the plane got diverted there.
Not a very good spot for my fellow metahumans. But other than my constant bleeding and backache,
It is better than going to Japan,
What is?
Hong Kong.
Oh.
yeah, you think humanis are bad.
Okay, that sounds ominous.
Yeah. On the plus side, actually, no, I would be treated like an Omni. Have they actually appeared yet or not?
That is unknown because Japan don't like to talk about magically active non-humans.
They get banished to islands. Or get
No one
disappear. It'll
knows
disappear.
what happens to the Japanese non-humans.
Wasn't
It's in books, but it's
no,
not
it wasn't
advertised in
what's his name? The druid that did he come from Korea or was it
He
Japan?
came from Pakistan.
Pakistan. I thought he came. Oh, okay.
That was Martin's druid.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dwarf.
Yeah,
I thought he actually was Japanese, right?
Pakistan.
No, Pakistani.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't remember because I thought he came from Japan for a little
Oh,
while, and then I realised.
Oh, that's probably why, because I thought because you were saying Japan. Okay. Cool.
That's why a lot of people don't know what happens because they keep it under closed doors.
Not like most corporations.
Yes, they do that. And also at the table today we have Ariadne.
I play Shadow, a awakened elf who used to be a corporate schleb, but
Woke up.
became woke, I guess. I'm loath to use that term to the slavery and corruption of the business world. Tried to steal $1 billion odd from them and give it to the poor. Got caught, got fired, and became a Shadowrunner. And is now developing their magical abilities to try not to die.
Which means there's at least one corporation out there gunning for you.
You stole $1 billion UN.
Tried to, still. Didn't succeed, got fired. A friend in higher up managed to convince them to just fire me instead of making an example of me or kill me because I failed.
I'm more curious at the $1 billion thinking, or $1 billion again thinking, hang on, is that around $1 billion or $1 billion plus or minus a few other billions?
It was a significant enough amount of money that I probably should have been made an example of. And the person who saved my butt, I owe a debt to, which is part of why I set up and run the refuges, because that's a part of my commitment to
Sounds
them.
like what they probably did was divert it to somebody else. We just fire this person because they happen to be the underling of this person.
Well, most likely they delayed an example until an appropriate time.
That could also be what's going on, so we don't know.
Because you can always buy delays. You can't buy it being written off.
Yeah.
We do not know. That is unwritten.
Okay, so does anyone want to say what happened last session?
You succeeded in
Well,
doing
okay.
a dance off.
And we're giving a good description.
What was Emmy giving a good description, or?
It was oh god, ouch,
Right.
we really did that, we're all gonna die. That were some of the quotes from last session.
Right. Yeah.
That was after the explosion food, but okay.
All I have to say is after watching the session, thank goodness Bolt thought of Trixie.
And we're not ordering from that place again.
Well,
The
that's
food-
what we're in the clear.
It's okay, I don't think that's ever going to be a problem. I don't think anyone's going to have to order from that place again.
Yeah.
And to be fair, the end result fitted the party original plan that we decided not to go through with. The whole week anyway, we decorated the back room instead of the front room.
The place needed a redecoration either way, and elves have better taste.
Just us orcs.
Well, I don't know that the elves would like to claim the appropriate pace that involved the redecoration of the back room.
No, probably not. Which gives you plausible deniability.
So the Crimson Crush would have loved the coloration.
Yes, if do you want to actually transfer the aim on the activities of last week or last session?
No, good.
It was a crappy job, but someone had to do
So as far as, just to make sure I've got it right,
Bolt, for the first time, was very happy that he was in his human, almost human form.
basically you
It's not something you hear Bolt say often.
well, yeah. I don't think you could convince Bolt, except under those exact circumstances where he's dealing with a bunch of fascists who are also cruel.
They're all racist than anything else.
Racists, that works as well.
I don't really think they're fascists.
I don't know. My brain doesn't know the difference right now. I probably was going to say something like the F word, realised it, even though it's not really PG, and then, racist and fuckers got mixed up and you ended up with fascists. Kind of describes them well, right?
Either works.
Fundamentalists.
There you go.
Okay, so it has been 4 days since you had your run, and it is now the 25th of March, another Friday at the Deadshot building, and it just another regular Friday.
Yeah.
And in the news reports is a special investigation into the Humanist Poly Club was disrupted when one of its members got contaminated food from a restaurant that was shut down. And they show the Poly Club where you did your work.
So a special criminal investigation into their workings was disrupted, but not.
Well, shut down.
Oh, it was shut down.
Mm.
So we
But-
shut down a legitimate investigation. Oh well.
The implication being there was a investigation going on before the party being involved, because obviously we saw the immediate news reports after the event talked about the fact that yes, they were wanting to interview the 3 executives that had sent the generous donations to the various charities and things like that, but apparently those execs were unavailable for comment because they disappeared.
Well, this is a follow-up news report to that one, and it turns out one of those execs was actually an undercover investigator.
Informant. Yep.
Who had been a plant for the last 6 months.
Ah.
Lucky you did 2 drops instead of 3.
There's them thinking, cool, 2 birds with 1 stone. The Poly Club and the security and the police.
And it appears that whatever investigation he was doing into the club has been stopped due to none of his evidence has been discovered since the food poisoning incident.
Deleted or just?
They just say that no one can find any of the bits of his investigation or the actual body of the investigator.
Tacoma.
Tacoma Forever is probably got hold of it, but we don't know about that.
Yeah, I was going to say Tacoma probably nicked off the
I'm sure he'll make good use of it if there's some good dirt on Humanica amongst it.
But
probably all much better government security forces would.
The note they do have from the Humanist Poly Club is they're using this as a statement of how they help the community and showing the benevolence of humans in helping non-humans who are lesser than them have a brighter future.
So it's kind of biting us back.
I mean, to be fair, there are certainly elements of that statement that fit with the original goal of having the attitude towards elves and gusted. At least they're saying they want to help non-humans, even if the aspect of being lower than them is a bit more challenging. Apparently they want to help.
Does that mean saying enlightened? Does that mean putting them on fire?
Yeah, no, I'm starting to go with letting Talon burn it all down.
Let Talon, sorry.
I just said we should have given them 3 drops in the end anyway.
No. I do not want to go against Trauma Team.
Was that said? Was that explained online in game that that's what would have happened with Trauma Team?
I think it was said of out game.
Yeah.
No, it was that he had told Bolt and I'm not going to know if it was there at the time. One drop was going to do it.
Yeah, we were told
one
1
drop
or
was
2
going to
drops, not 3. And out of game, Martin said we would have had the Trauma Team on us.
Well, any person that's got enough money, Trauma Team's a must. And we saw that there was a lot of money in that area anyway.
While the Poly Club execs had access to money.
Yeah.
None of the rest of their team did, but they did.
No, but so basically 3 members would definitely have the Trauma Team.
Yeah. And the one who was the investigator probably had it as well.
Well, we don't know who the investigator is. Because we're now ignoring this effect, the fallout from this escapade.
Bolt is intrigued whether it was the guy who was trying to hit on him in his
I could.
I think that was actually.
I can quickly
it's not
distract
gonna-
Bolt by bouncing a tennis ball in front of him.
And what was that,
The
Jeremy?
the one that was trying to hit on Bolt was actually the lead exec and the group, so presumably wouldn't have been the investigator.
Though you also know he was the one who had a dirt file on the rest of the people.
No, we don't know.
Who?
Or did the
You
hacker?
did know that the lead guy had a file of dirt on all the other staff.
Okay.
You got to see
That's
that
right.
before you
And
did the run.
we thought it was an indication of his poor management that even with the dirt file, he still had people who were doing stuff under his nose, like having 10 different people acting as the same person.
We're probably now out of a
Yes,
job.
it could well have been the fact that he was the investigator and he didn't really check what he found out. He was just trying to find out and he wanted to make it good for the public, right?
And I believe both Desrin and Shadowstar had plans for relocating the Goth Girls to a new location.
The one that I
And
nicknamed
sponsoring
the
them.
Heathers.
Yeah, well, in order to
Or
keep them
doing their
safe.
continuing activities anyway.
So
Yeah.
basically, you've now got them in the Desmond Tower doing odd jobs. Then.
No,
Desrin was
no,
going to
in
sponsor
general.
them to stay in the abandoned church and run it as a.
Abandoned
More-
church.
They were in an abandoned church, which they were using like a nightclub. And Desrin was saying that he was inclined to, because they were getting paid like 10 credits a day or something like that, that considering how they were living, he was considering sponsoring them being there and being able to work there and take people in and distribute food or whatever it is that they're doing there. I can't remember. And I said, look, if Desrin had said it, I would have, but Desrin said it, so I'm happy for him to do it.
Hey, Desmond's more than happy to, if you're want to talk to him, he's more than happy to let you take the lead on it.
You put your hand up first, and I am not going to put myself in the way of a person doing a good cause. So
Even though they're underage.
they're all yours. They really like you anyway.
Yep.
You're their boy vampire elf.
That's cool. Be aware that Excellent's definition of sponsorship may not be quite the same level as Shadowstar's definition of sponsorship.
I'm
That's cool.
I'm good with that.
But certainly, yes. It's certainly something that, as far as Dex is concerned, it's not going to be anything that's, there's no particular activity in that kind of way for at least a few weeks, because we don't want anything to do with that place. Coming back to us at least until things have settled down and things have gone back to normal. And if there's still investigations going on, and particularly investigations may have been interrupted, that means that, yes, there's a certain making attempt to actually get back in contact with Calista McHuman in the immediate future. We'll be down the track. He's definitely only existing things to do.
On the plus side, it's Desmond, not Talon.
Okay, so Desrin also has notification that it's 5 weeks till his green and blue Ancient's jacket is ready.
5 weeks?
Yep.
They must be ordering it from overseas.
I know it's custom made. Or
That's good.
Yeah, from the Elven conclave over there.
They wouldn't go overseas for it, because if they were, they would go to Portland and get it made there at the West, which is not overseas.
Sorry, what's that?
Okay, overland then. It's still in the. I would say that Portland still classes another country.
It is another country.
But it is international.
I missed the start of the-
Okay, so Desrin's getting a jacket made for him
Right.
as part of him getting his colours with the Ancients.
Right.
Because
Okay,
their
so-
colours are dark green and blue.
Okay, so he is now joining the Ancients despite his slight distraction towards Tatiana.
Doesn't mean he's a full member. It just means that they're giving him his colours to see how he goes.
Yeah, even though Tatiana
And, and certainly from their perspective, they're not mutually exclusive by any stretch.
No. Just at the start of your introduction, you said you're realising there are other things, so it was just a reference to that.
Yeah. He certainly not as single focused on the ancients as he used to be. But that was mainly because at that time, when you were growing up and things like that, the ancients were the highest you could potentially aspire to be. But you have to recognise there's more to the world. Certainly ancients are still up there.
And so with the morning of the 25th, Desmond wakes up to a playing card stuck to his forehead.
You see anyone? Sure, I can at least another 2 or 3 weeks I'll see you when you can do the nightclub. I guess time flies when you're having fun, or when you're under the thumb. Is there any other indications on the card as to contact or meet or anything along those lines?
Okay, once you pull it off, taking a bit of your eyebrow with it, you do see that it has writing on the back, expect a call and a number.
Okay. So technically it doesn't change the information you had last time.
But this time you have a number.
Well,
Well, at least they didn't call Bolt. Although I think Bolt's increased his capacity to answer the phone.
No.
No?
Bolt still has trouble.
Oh, okay.
It's computers after all. So, while you guys have a relaxing day catching up with things that you've had going, any of the small little jobs you have in the background running?
Any updates about SoCal?
Apparently his last news you got is he's been flown overseas.
Okay. Do we know where?
Yeah,
You do not know.
it'd be somewhere to the... hopefully east side? So the Europe area and UK and that? Hopefully it's not going to one of the Asian countries.
Yeah, I was going to say hopefully not Hong Kong.
Oh no, he's human, so he should be fine.
Well,
It's just that their corporations are really strict.
You do have your curse, so two birds, one stone.
Though you do get a hint that he may have been accepted into a Delta clinic.
Okay, what's the Delta Clinic for those of us not know?
For those who don't know, Delta clinics are the people who have the cutting edge technology.
For example, it was a Delta clinic that installed the cyberware that was in Mari and Mercurial that we had to go and hunt down. And so the fact that Mari and Mercurial is the one that was...
Yeah.
Right?
Since she's taken an interest in him, yeah.
It's likely that he's gone to the same one.
And that one is literally in Japan.
Cool.
Their version of Silicon Valley.
Okay. Hopefully he's not being classed as sold his soul to the corporation.
Okay. Well, hey, if anyone's going to know how to fix neural damage due to biofeedback and that sort of thing, it would be one of the top-end street dogs.
Yep, and send the bill to Lone Star.
If it
Oh, no, it's the bill going to Mari and Mercurial. And of course, Based on what happened to Mario Mercurial, I'm sure SoCal will be absolutely fine.
Yeah. The sarcasm is appropriate.
Okay, so did anyone else have anything they wanted to follow up for that few days before they find out their next exciting misadventures?
I presume.
What about wasn't there something strange happening in the where that drug shop was?
There's always something strange happening in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Have we got any more information or leads on Talon's case? Because we were doing that, and it kind of got hijacked to pursue Desran's aspirations into the ancients. But I presume Talon's still the subject of an investigation to do with body
Snatching.
parts harvesting.
And
I did think about that last game a few times. I was thinking, like, should I be in hiding?
Yeah.
I know others were already, like, inherently hidden, but, like, you know, what's with all the bodies?
well, to make you feel so much better, there's not even been a news article on it on the net anywhere whatsoever.
Alan is a little disappointed. You know, even if it's bad news, at least they're talking about you.
Oh, if there's news, it means that the case has been solved, and they're advertising the publicity of it all. They rarely talk about cases in progress unless they're looking for witnesses.
That's interesting.
And rarely do they send people in force and then not have news articles appear on it.
But that doesn't mean that there's not something going on in the background.
Oh no, it means something really big is going on if it's not reported on.
Okay, so
no news is bad news.
I might, if we've got some time off, then visit with my old pal at the cock shop just to see if he happens to drop any bits of info.
Well, I'll be at Ebenezer's.
Pardon?
I'll be at Ebenezer's.
Ebenezer's, yeah.
That's where I would find out if there's any body snatching or parts.
Yeah.
Parts.
There's always body snatching.
Yeah, but is it?
There are companies that specialise in it.
Isn't there? Halloween is around or not?
I believe they are.
Because they're the body snatching group, aren't they?
I'm sure they assist in making that happen.
I was just trying to look up for the doctor's name, the guy who took SoCal in, because he would tell us if there's been...
Ebenezer.
No, it wasn't Ebenezer, it was someone...
It was the one in charge of it, where Ebenezer was not the head doc.
I was just looking for his name, because he would be the other
Oh,
person.
you're talking about the one that got went to the other hospital.
No, Ebenezer worked out of that hospital.
Oh, okay.
See if I've got the notes on it, if I go back far enough.
Was it the mall, isn't it? Whatever it's called. Where?
No, I don't have my notes handy at this stage. I'm still in the middle of cleaning it up. But yes, you can have done that. Your character had also spent time helping the hacker, Sophie. You had also gone off to help Sophie, which is the last thing you did.
Okay, alright. So am I actually here then if I'm off helping Sophie? Or?
On the Friday you're back, yes. But
Okay.
in the meantime, you can either have spent time helping Sophie with her issue, or spend your time with Callahan discussing things.
I thought you said what we're going to spend the next couple of days doing.
Well, I said, what have they spent a couple
The
of days
days
doing?
Well, then if I was off doing something with Sophie, then I was doing something with Sophie. I thought this was after we got back.
Yeah, the point being that you off with Sophie when the one happened today.
Yeah.
It's now Friday, so Saturday. So how long you with Sophie is up to you, and therefore you still at Margaret Callahan. on like a Wednesday, Thursday type stuff if you want to.
Yeah, so I probably, if I've got time, I'd check in with Callahan to see if there's any more leads or any info, just in general. And I'll give him any sanitized info that I feel might be helpful to him.
So you ended up catching up with Callahan in the downtime in between.
Okay.
So that'll be up to you to tell everyone the details of that later.
Okay.
I was just trying to get the highlights from people,
Okay.
not role playing those situations
Okay. All
right
right.
now.
Well,
I
that's
also
okay
probably
then.
been catching up with Ragged Gash and see what courses I've missed.
Yeah, depending on what we've got time for, I might have dropped by Dr. Wilmoth, who's the name of the doc shop guy, according to my notes here.
Ebenezer was one of the other doctors there.
And see whether or not any new body parts, anything on Tarlin's case has turned up, because I'm aware that's still happening and can't be initially forgotten.
Okay, and was Tarlin wanting to follow up things herself?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Was Tarlin wanting to follow up things herself?
I think Tyler's had her head in the sand, but I guess it would be good to know if I was about to be arrested and imprisoned or murdered for the rest of my life.
So you're off partying.
More party, but yes, I think Shadow has raised a good point. I should probably inquire as to what's going to happen to my future.
So I guess what Martin's asking is, are you grabbing any of your own contacts?
I was basically asking what she was doing.
Oh, yeah.
Again, with the this is stuff you were doing in between the storyline, which you can then talk about during the game to give you guys something to think about what you're going to talk about without role-playing through all the things before we get there.
I wasn't saying that she should role-play it. I was saying that what you were saying to do was think about whether or not during that time you were, like I've just said, got in touch with 2 or 3 contacts to get information from. That's it.
Okay.
Hey, Carl's not worried about the time, let's worry about the future. The present be bullshit.
Yeah, look, let's be real, I haven't been doing anything in the party.
And also we have Flogger here with us with Josh, who we haven't had a chance to introduce yet.
Don't mind me, I'm just the spirit of someone.
It's okay, I'm just fixing the audio because we had you at 200%.
Oh, am I a bit loud, am I?
Not anymore.
Okay, that's good. Hi, I'm Josh. I'm a Flogger. Flogger, big birdie toy. Flogger likes indoors. If you hurt friends, use this to exist.
And also, very good breakdancer.
Yes.
Very best in break dances.
So, what sort of things would Flogger be up to during the 4 days?
Sorry, you said 12 days?
4 days.
4 days. Flogger would be probably relaxing for 2 of them, and then working out. Probably going to the gym for one of them, and then the other one would be searching for his doors.
Well, down in the Stuffer Shack, you actually find a troll-sized Dancertron home kit.
Oh, hell yeah.
I was going to say, did he catch up with Hoda, his girlfriend?
Actually, yeah. I reckon I could do that on one of the days.
And how about Bolt?
I'd probably spend time at Trixie's, going through what happened at the thingy, at the run we did, and that he's proud that he he remembered her advice about the stuff he gave off. And also just generally just helping out and around the place.
Okay, you do find out from Trixie she's surprised that you put in more than one drop. Mainly because you're lucky that services didn't get called in with the 2 drops. They mustn't have had a high enough plan not to have emergency service show up at 2 drops. Uncontrolled bowel movements generally is considered a medical emergency for some. But hey, you have a good catch up and spend a lot of time there. When you all catch up again on the Friday, because you hear there's another job coming up, is right after Desrin gets a phone call from a number he recognizes from the back of a card. And it's an invite to a restaurant called Takuri's in downtown Seattle by a woman who calls herself Charlie. She loves your work and would like to do some business with you.
Well, always wonderful to meet a fan, and I would love to meet you as well. So.
And you realise it was a recorded message.
All good. Certainly, well, thank you for statement. I went up to your fan. He was walking recognised the fact that, well, to get the statement, I'd love to do business with you. I think more point, she loves to do business with a lot more money and more makeup. Either way, certainly, did the message actually have a time of beat at that point, or just a contact, like basically message to call her back to arrange contact?
Well, you have a feeling she's waiting for you now.
Okay.
Good thing it's you, not us.
What time of day is it?
It is just after midday. You've just missed the lunchtime rush.
Okay. And where did you say it was?
It is at Takuri's, a nice restaurant in downtown Seattle. So it is nice clothes, low weaponry, expensive IDs.
Yep. Desmond will get out the message to the others to say, hey, if you're not busy and you're neat, tidy, presentable, I'm going to lunch down in downtown for a meet. We're leaving in 5 minutes.
Logan's question. What is presentable?
Not you.
You sure you didn't hear presentador?
Door present?
How many people actually have a reasonable sin?
We all do.
Shadowstar had arranged for everyone to get a rating for sin.
Cool, happy with that. I had a vague memory that it was everyone had a reasonable sin. Yes, it was more the idea, and also knowing that the income was certainly aware of who's got a sin, who's got a decent sin, and who's not. But yeah, yes, it comes down to the idea of, in that case, anyone is eligible to come along if they can be presentable enough to go downtown.
There is a warning with that sin is don't use it against the mafia.
Can someone explain to me what SIN is?
System identification number, which is very much like any form of unique ID that identifies you. It is related to genetic markers. That means that it should be unique for each person.
A license for your body, basically, to say that you're legit.
Well,
And that
that's basically.
And so Shadow got us like fake ones? Like
No, I got each party member 1 level 6, and then each party member got 1 level 4, and then we got level 1 ratings.
No, they are fake.
Oh, are they?
That's
Okay.
that's the whole point to them is
okay.
they are fake.
Sorry, it just says here
It's
that...
just that level 6 are good fake. Level 1s are, well, they may be a laminated photocopy.
Whereas,
Yeah, listen. Level 1 fakes make a flogger a half elf.
so if it doesn't have a rating, it's because it's really identified to you, and that is
I see.
basically traced to your genetics.
It's, all I've got written here
Hearing
is
us from the meeting.
the number and how much they cost. That's it.
But if you look at one of the sort of like the plain terms that you use in the Shadowrun world, referring to the fact that Shadowrunners are sinless. Not because they haven't done anything bad, but because they don't have a real sin.
So, but anyone who has worked for the corporations has a real sin somewhere in the back history, and that's generally referred to as a criminal sin.
But the reason why we can't cross anyone from the mafia with that sin is because they were set up. Our sins came from Covey at the docks.
The idea being the fact that
No, sorry, Don O'Malley's. Yeah. Sorry.
So the idea being the fact that you can technically still use them with the mafia. It's just that no matter how good the sin is, they're likely to recognise immediately that it's a fake one. Because they built it.
And they know who they built it for.
Exactly.
So that was why there was that warning: don't use them against the mafia.
But is turning up to a restaurant with a 4 ID...
It's a general warning to people who, when they use sins, that they should remember.
But yeah, if I were to Coolies, does not have any connection with the mafia?
It does not, but you never know.
Okay, well, I'm happy that he told me that he's not well known for it, and that's enough for what we can find out right now. So.
If only you had SoCal around, because he was your mafia contact.
Sorry, who was that?
SoCal was your mafia contact.
Yeah. But yeah, so coming back to the usual section there is who wants to have lunch in downtown and can make themselves presentable enough for such a visit.
Okay.
And willing to drop 50 to 1,000 credits on email.
Yeah, well, I've got money for it. So.
I might hang around outside.
I actually want to see it because SoCal actually has to spend money.
No, SoCal has to spend money. Desrin has to spend money.
Desrin has to spend money.
Yeah.
He's spending SoCal's money.
Alan will go. You should wear a lovely outfit.
Isn't your lovely outfit called Desrin?
Yes, I'm going to play the role of like wide-eyed, go-eyed, sort of nothing person.
I'll keep watch outside.
Sure, one of your sins is called TDE.
So we had people talking over each other. I didn't get what was said.
Ross made the remark that one of Talon's sins is called he. Didn't hear what Jeremy said.
I forgot about wasn't TE the name? Who was TE again?
Teehee is the name of a hacker that you guys had come across, though you were using that as a how you laughed at certain things in one of your personas.
When we stole a book, I think.
Didn't I try to pretend that I was like someone cool and famous and my name was TE?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yes.
Okay, I got it.
Yes, that's what I was saying. That one of your sins is that because you're supposed to be, was it writing a book or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that was when we were in the previous one for Harliquin of recovering the manuscripts from the publisher. So Tyler's definitely coming, Desmond's coming, Carlos are planning on staying outside.
Florida picks up a table and starts to head out the door.
Perfect.
Okay, well, there's table service.
So he does get stuck in the doorway with the table.
Or does he make a new doorway?
Not with the table. Table's not that strong.
Okay, it's now a collapsible table?
What does Flogger do when he can't get the table out the door?
He will try every which way to get the table out the door.
So it's pivot.
So give me a... What is your character's cunning?
Cunning, 2.
2. Okay, so we get 2 green dice versus a purple dice, because it should be fairly easy to get a table out the door. But it is Flogger after all, so who knows?
There's gonna be an extension to this door in a minute.
So did you say 2 green dice?
And a purple.
And a purple.
And we've got a cat. This looks like a meme from here.
Okay, so yes. He does succeed in getting the table through the door without breaking anything.
Yay! That's surprising.
Desrin can thank the dice for that.
Though he may have broken expectations of other people.
Probably. We were looking for an amusing montage of 50 different ways of trying to get a coffee table out a door.
So you see him come up to the doorway, pause, turn the table around, move it through, and then step through the doorway, almost as if he didn't need to stop.
Yeah.
After figuring out he couldn't go through with it out sideways.
I really wanted to have a version of the dog with the really long stick trying to
I
get in through their door.
also love how no one is questioning the fact that I've just picked up a table. Going to go to this lunch with just a table.
Yeah, well...
Talon's thinking about, like... I'm sorry, I cut someone off.
Go, Talon, you finish, then we'll go to Jeremy.
Talon's actually thinking of like sort of fashion coordinating and maybe wearing like a little miniature table on her head, like a little beret or something. Just because like, I want there to be a little bit of, fashion unity amongst the group.
What, not a tablecloth cloak?
No, God, you know anything about
And what about Jeremy for Desrin?
Okay. Doc will have a misunderstanding the fact that no one was asking questions. What he meant was that what he should have said was, no one's asked questions yet. Because presumably Flogger wants to get in the van to actually travel to downtown.
And the other side of it is, I thought we weren't necessarily all in the same place.
As Desrin and Tylen get on the bike, he's waiting by the van as the bike drives off.
No. This is why I asked the question of who wants to come to know what vehicle we need. So
You've got 2 trolls
Yeah.
and an elf who's dressed up with a... And you've got 1 troll with a table. I don't know, did you grab like a side table or chair to go with the table?
What?
No, just joking.
I'm going in my
No,
19th century outfit. I'm
Yeah,
dressed
I'm
in
just
a suit and top hat with my scepter cane.
That's-
By the way, I am not taking my pistol.
The,
That's not registered under Bill ID. The scepter is.
if people aren't dressed appropriately for downtown, they're to ensure they're not taking them.
Well, who's to say 19th century clothing is not suited for downtown as long as it's presentable?
No problem with Wonka attire. It's odd, but at least it's respectable.
But Floggy's just wearing a table.
It's going to say, if Flogger is totally on a table,
Okay,
then
so
that's not
is
it.
it? No. He better be wearing a tablecloth toga.
No. Flogger presentable. I present table.
I don't see anything wrong with this, personally.
Exactly. I present table.
I think Desmond
And what
wants
else-
Flogger to present the table
what else
well
did you wear?
dressed.
He's wearing a table.
When you picked up the table, what was he already wearing?
It's not like Flogger really cares about his appearance that much.
No.
And he has no doors on his apartment, so he doesn't really worry too much about walking in and out while closed.
I'm probably still just rocking like casual wear, to be honest. I would have had casual wear on because of the dance competition.
So is that like very tight bike shorts and singlet?
Yes.
So have you actually
So
changed your
Desrin
clothes
has
since
to-
Monday?
sorry.
Probably not.
No.
Desrin probably has to send Flogger back to get
Oh, wait a
dressed.
second. No, I'm just trying to work out. if,
changed.
Can utility actually clean his clothes?
It's not that sort of spell.
No, in that case, you need somebody to cast a mask spell on you, which I don't have.
I do. but
Always
I'm
know get
possibly
dressed in
elsewhere.
appropriate clothes.
No. Flogger was told to be presentable. I present table.
You have to keep the table, otherwise I have to change my outfit, and that's, you know,
Yeah,
really
and-
utilities.
I was going to say, this is where Desrin has to
Yeah.
tell Flogger he can't
This is not
present the
how you-
table until he gets
That
dressed.
This is not where you're going. You're not going into the center of town undressed.
Okay, yeah, I could do that, but then I have to concentrate on it. Oh, that's a waste of time.
How about someone just asks him?
You could always-
But Flogger dressed.
No, you stink.
But dressed. No one said anything about smell.
Okay.
Well, that's fine. Flogger, wait here, and we'll come out to get you.
Okay. Your loss.
You mean you didn't say reserve the table for us? We'll be back shortly.
Yeah, what
I'm
about
sure
moving?
Walk dressed.
I'm sure you don't want a bonfire made out of your table.
It might be made out of the whole building, actually, when he finds out that he's missed the meeting.
You are leaving. I am out of fact of warning you that you are leaving Flogger unsupervised.
Technically, he's been told I'm doing like for like 4 days, at least I'm going to pay that much sense to him, so.
And you were lucky he didn't do a lot.
Though he has worked up quite the sweat on his troll dance-a-thon.
Yes.
having heard that it's level 4 ID, I will, knowing Bolt and Flogger, I'll text them both and tell Flogger that if he wants to do anything, he has to dress up in his best dance clothes so that he can be accepted in, otherwise he won't get to present anything. And I'll tell Bolt the same thing too.
Nightclub wear would probably get through.
Nightclub wear, yeah. So I'll say best nightclub dance wear. Otherwise, you won't get in. There'll be no dancing, and Flogger will be sad.
Bolt actually has like a decent attire.
You do only for while you're in your standard wolf form. You never quite got round to getting human clothes.
Yeah, that's fine. If I'm told that that's my night clothing,
yeah,
then to wear my night clothing.
So
I would hope that Bolt would understand that.
Wolf or wolf humanoid?
That's the hybrid.
Oh, okay.
Everyone in the party has spent time in downtown and in some of the more upper part, like in Bellevue and things like that. So presumably they've got the appropriate gear to at least be walking down the street without immediately attracting attention. Or at least giving attention.
That's not the point. It's communicating to Flogger and Bolt that they need to wear that gear, not if they add that gear. Anyway, so I've sent...
I'm happy from the role-play perspective that there was confusion over the directions, but I'm just confirming for each of the characters does have the stuff available if they choose to wear it.
Yeah, so I'll send that text because I know Bolt and Flogger may not understand that Desrin, when Desrin tells them to be well presented, what Desrin means. Having spent enough time with them over the last couple of years.
You need to talk to Flogger like he's a 2-year-old.
Yes.
Because at the moment, what you sent Flogger is best dance wear.
So
and I am wearing my best dance wear.
So what I've texted you is change into your best nightclub clothes. So I've told you to change and into your best nightclub clothes. Otherwise, you won't get in and no dance for Flogger.
Oh, sad. Okay.
Whether or not you... I don't know about the table, so whether or not you still bring the table, that's entirely up to Flogger. I don't know that. I only can predict that the level 4 ID is to tell you both to bring your level 4 IDs and to change clothes.
But I think that's what he's already
Problem with ID. Flogger only counted 3.
I will do a picture of a 4 and send you a text of a 4, and I'll go match this to the ID card.
Oh, and you're trusting Flogger to read now. Oh no.
I'm actually trusting you to match this picture to that one. Actually, no, I take that back. I'll text Tarlin and tell Tarlin to help Flogger find his level 4 ID because Flogger can't count above 4.
Or do you go, Tarlin, new quest for you. Your task today is to dress Flogger.
Yeah, help.
Will be table themed. I'm really quite set on this.
I'm not worried about that side of things.
And just remember, no capes.
In terms of fashion, Shadow actually has. If you told her wearing a table beret was in fashion, she'd totally believe you. She's got no idea if fashion's any different.
And fashion's crazy enough that people do that.
Yeah.
Alright, well, Tyler will go over and arrange some clean dance, in inverted commas, clothes.
Nice, incredible reference.
Flogger will leave the table outside because he's still going to present the table.
And now we get to have a fashion montage.
Does someone move and hide the table while Flogger's getting presentable? No? Okay, so the...
I can't. I'm not there. So it is up to the people who are there.
Why are we moving the table?
Francis verdict, the table's coming with us.
I think it's up to Womp or Desrin because Talon's busy dressing Flogger
Well,
and Bolt wouldn't probably do it.
well, since I actually don't live here, I've gone back to my place.
Okay, so it's up to Desrin to hide the table if he doesn't want the table to be
Because-
presented.
I don't live here due to the fact that it's Aztec, not Desmond's place.
If Desrin decides to hide the table, then Desrin can totally tell Flogger that he's had the table sent ahead and that it's already at the location to make it easier for him.
And they can wait for the horror that's going to happen afterwards.
So, what time was the
We were departing 5 minutes after he said.
Yeah, okay, so we need to get there as quickly as possible. So, how quickly could I get from my place to there with using public transport?
Public transport, you probably get there in about maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, depending on traffic.
Okay, with them mucking around, I'm just trying to work out which would be quicker. With them mucking around, then getting into the van and getting there, would I arrive there quicker if I just went there?
You'd probably be about an hour to an hour and a half behind them. Because they don't have to go to the stops. They get to go take the express into the city.
Where do you live?
I live nearby, but the thing is, I don't live in the tower.
Because there's a half an hour walk to the train station, and then there's the
Wait. So basically, it's the wait for it's walk to the train station, then the waiting for the
and
trains.
then they're doing every stop on the way in.
For convenience sake, since I'm out in my car, can I pick Womp up on my way through?
You
and
could.
bring him in and we'll meet them there. And then that means it's just Desrin, Talon and Flogger and Bolt.
Yeah, it's just I don't trust that building.
That's fine, but I
I'm
mean,
sure the building doesn't trust you either.
rather than have you sitting
If
around
the building has feelings, I'm going to be really scared.
not participating, I can pick you up.
Yep.
I do have my car, so that is something that I can do.
Okay. The two of you find yourself getting into town fairly easily. You seem to go through all the checkpoints, just catching the lights each way.
I will pat my car and thank its lucky charms for yet another successful driving.
What, you got a leprechaun in there?
My car always manages to seem to make the lights, so I just think it's incredibly lucky. I don't know why, it just manages to.
And so, Desrin, you end up getting the visual feast that is Flogger coming out with Talon. So, would you like would Talon like to describe how Flogger appears?
He is wearing some sensible slacks that have been bunched up around the ankle because they were actually curtains that we quickly just whipped up together because when I went in there I realized that there was nothing clean. And so whipped up a little pair of curtain pants, but they're lovely, I have to say. And I did manage to sew in a little embroidered chair into each pocket. A nice little button down that I created with a couple of pillowcases, a nice little mix and match. And where's the table? There's the table. Anyway, so that's what it looks like.
So what? It's tablecloth chic.
Yes. And Desrin now has a
Sounds
need.
like bedroom chic, actually.
And Desrin now has a need for curtains and pillowcases because.
Surprised there wasn't a tablecloth thrown in there as a cake.
From what I remember of Flogger's place, he doesn't have those.
So it's curtains for Desmond.
But I was going to say, didn't all this come from Desrin's?
That's what I just said.
Technically, it could be a tablecloth.
Look, it's a chic outfit, okay? Don't diss it just because the fabric came.
Oh, no one was dissing it.
And you're a whiz with a hot glue gun, I'm sure.
I love how the fact Talon just immediately knew what Flog was like and just went, screw it, I'm going to rip up more of this place where we're staying and fix it.
I'm so glad that my door has actually been disguised by wall panels so that Flogger doesn't know how to actually get into my room, because all he sees is wall. There's no door there, so he's not interested. And that's been my foil for stopping my doors from all being ripped off my little apartment.
Be warned, Flog will make his own door one day.
Perhaps. I would hope that Flogger has some respect for Shadow, and he won't destroy her apartment and just keep his destruction to himself. But we'll cross that bridge when
I
we
won't
come
make
to
promises.
it. Remember, I'm also a magic user, so it could end up interesting.
As am I. It's just that might as well listen to me at the moment.
Don't worry, there's a very easy way to knock Flogger out, because there is a single spell that reduces an attribute.
No, yeah, I already looked at that and going, yeah, that's a great... Oh,
I don't
no,
know
it's
if
not.
I've got that spell though.
It's
It's
cursed.
Yeah.
I think you do.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
actually I do have
Yeah,
that
and
spell.
I've actually told... that is probably one of the worst spells to cast on Flogger, because we do not know what the hell's going to happen.
I'm not going to cast anything on Flogger. Look, in all honesty, we all know Shadow. If Flogger were to make a hole into her apartment and destroy her whole apartment, she still wouldn't hurt him, but she would be very cross. She would be extremely disappointed.
Okay, bit far would destroy your apartment. I would just make my own door. And then I would sit very happily in the middle of your own.
Yeah, but you might...
Okay, so yes, we're moving on.
I was going to say, moving on.
You pile into the van and start heading off into the city. For some
And there's
reason,
no room for a table in the van.
You're going to ruin Tarlin's outfit.
it does fit on the roof rack on top, though.
I
Yeah.
was going to say, what about the price?
But unknown to Flogger, you didn't tie it down, so when you take off, it's left behind you.
Oh, come on. I was so on board with the present table.
Oh, I'm so sorry
Yes.
for
Just think of it this way: we're going to a restaurant.
Actually,
There's going to be a whole room
Martin,
full
can
of
I
tables.
raise you this?
Yep.
It goes on the roof, but Flog is hanging outside of the van holding onto it.
Sure.
No, it doesn't go on the roof. Here's what he's saying, the table stays put. You can stay with the table if you like, Flogger, but the table is not going anywhere.
But
I feel like
Ezra
we
said
should
present
promote-
table.
Man or not, we're already late for the
That's a wet table. I mean, wet blanket.
Tablecloth.
well, Desmond said here that
Ezra say present table. I present table.
yes. Well, if you're going to present table, I won't present Flogger. We're going to a job contract meeting. Look professional.
And while you're having this, Flogger hears a voice in his ear saying, he meant present at table, not present table. You missed a word.
Ah, there's a present at table. Got it.
But there's no present on table. Now Flogger's probably going to be looking confused at table, looking for the present.
Yes.
And it says, table not here. You got to go to table.
Oh, okay. Flogger tosses the table.
It smashes into spit.
It's a...
Desmond's probably relieved, even though he's just lost a table.
I'm sure when one table disappears, another one rears its head.
Oh, look, he already
Okay.
collects doors. If he starts collecting tables, we're in trouble.
You stack of tables.
No. Table too many legs. Can't do anything with that.
No mahjong set?
I know. What is mahjong?
Okay, so yes, you find
Because Flogger
yourself...
plays Snap.
Or you can play Snap with many legs.
Yeah, Flogger Snap table.
As I say, you can demonstrate you like that.
I thought that was Smash. But...
Okay, so after having a frustrating trip into town where you make every red light, you rock up at the restaurant, finding that Shadowstar and Womp have been there for about half an hour.
Ooh, I definitely need to get to level 5 in healer.
Are they going in, or are they waiting outside?
No, I'm
Or?
waiting
We're
outside.
waiting outside because
If-
the invite wasn't for us. It was
That's
you
true,
with,
that's
with it
cool.
was you with guests.
I was going to wait outside regardless.
I think Desmond and I should just say sorry. We had a little table drama. I'll tip my little table hat.
Nice table.
Hey.
Okay. So there's no problem with the table hat, those makes it fascinating. That's really fine.
And then I'll notice the embroidered chairs on Flogger's pockets, and I'll say, I see you brought chairs as well. Very fitting.
Okay.
Remember, we're going in to meet Mrs. Johnson. Longer, don't say anything. This is a job offer. We don't want to look out of place.
I don't know if Flogger knows how to take
Longer,
that.
you stay there and look menacing. Don't act menacing, just look menacing.
Menacing?
Big. Look big.
Ah, now you understand. No more than 2 syllables.
Okay, so when you walk into the restaurant, Takuri's is fairly full, but the dim lighting prevents you from identifying anyone, or anyone from identifying you. So for once, Talon is safe. The head waiter, a big Japanese in classic kimono, smiles as you enter and asks, who is your reservation under?
Isn't it Charlie?
We're here to meet Charlie.
He winks at you and says, follow me, as he waddles towards the back area.
Certainly, following on behind. So, Des will walk in with, depending upon who counts as who's accessory, with Carl on the arm. So,
And he walks up to what looks like a coat closet, and when he opens it, it appears to be a small private dining room with 3 people waiting.
so was did Womp come out to meet us as well? As well as,
Womp
or is
and,
he waiting with Shadowstar?
Womp and Shadowstar are here with you because they got here before
I
you.
waited in the car.
You waited in the car, you didn't go in with him?
I was
Yeah, I
going in.
said I was going to keep watch out front
Okay.
in case something went wrong.
Yeah, I was going in because this is the first time we're going to see Desmond actually be spending money in a while.
Womp came in.
And then you got Talon, Flogger, and Bolt.
So looking at the size of the doorway and the area beyond, is there likely room for 2 trolls, a wolf, as well as the 3 human or 3 others and the 2 elves?
Well, you think that the 2 trolls and Bolt will have to stand up while the 2 elves get the seats.
Yeah.
There was a 3rd seat there, but not sure if it will suit Bolt and Bolt's excess muscle.
Yeah, David will say to Flogger specifically, Flogger, look big here, make certain no one else comes in. Except waiter staff.
Okay. Look big.
Yes.
Flogger climbs up on top of the van. Flogger big.
Remember, we're inside at the moment. Is Flogger go outside and drive for the
No, no. Is there anything for Flogger to stand on?
There is a table.
Done. Flogger stands on the table.
As soon as Jason sees Flogger heading away from this spot, he said, no, here, stand here, don't move.
Oh, okay. Stand here.
Yes.
Don't move.
Yes.
But if
And we'll
you come in, I move to stop.
don't worry about it, just don't move.
Don't move.
Stay here.
Stay here.
And then, yes. The 4 of us will go in.
Okay. So, as you go in there, you see the middle person recognized as Charlie, who sent you the video. She appears to be starting to lose her natural good looks. Not even cybernetics and cosmetics can give her the beauty that she once needed without prompting. Which is a very convoluted sentence, but hey. To her left is a human, probably a razor. His eyes flick quickly over each of you before settling on Desrin. He has red hair in a high top fade, and from the looks of it, more than natural and static electricity are holding it up. He's dressed in tray chic synth leathers. And the third one looks no more than 18, unlike the other two. He seems very nervous and wide-eyed. Also from his clothing, which looks crispy new lines to it, and he's doing a lot of quick, careless motions. His blonde hair is slicked back to give him the look of a refugee from an old vampire movie. And he carries a Street Lane special in a quick release shoulder holster.
You mean he's set up to be an extra in one of Tarlin and Desmond's movies that we were in for the Goth nightclub for?
Pretty much. He would have fit right into that look. And as you come in, Charlie starts to sort out an order with you and your guest while the others are watching.
Okay, well.
And you see the menu has only organically grown material in it. And fresh meat. So looking at the prices on there, the prices are starting at about 100 credits for a entree up to almost 500 credits for the mains. Basically, it costs more to buy food, a meal here than to buy most of your weapons.
Yep. Yeah. Well, Ezra will allow Ali to order first. Lady first. And then offer Alan, okay, what she's having.
Can I ask, is there any fruit on the menu?
There is.
Are there any apples?
They have fruits that are all out of season.
Ooh, how much for, say, like a salad bowl full of one particular fruit?
Which fruit are you wanting, and what was the question?
Did you want a snack?
Are there any peaches?
They have peaches there. You can get a bowl of sliced peaches for about 250 credits.
What's the cheaper fruit option?
Cheapest
No
fruit.
citrus, please.
Strawberries.
They do have strawberries, but they're not the cheapest. The cheapest they have is a bowl of grapes going for 150 credits.
Okay, I will have a salad bowl full of grapes, please.
Okay, salad with the grapes will set you back 250.
What? No, just a salad bowl full of grapes. No, damn it! Why did the price increase?
If you do any salad and grapes, not just grapes. Yeah, salad bowl.
I feel like I'm in an episode of Seinfeld. I want big bowl of grapes, right? Just not a big salad, but
Okay, big bowl
The
of grapes.
biggest bowl.
Okay.
yes, big bowl
Still
of grapes.
500 now because
Yep.
it's such a big bowl.
So it's going to be the grape Nazi saying, "No grapes for you."
Okay, so what does Desrin want?
They're going to order a. Charlie, if you order entree and main?
She was waiting until you ordered first, being
I-
polite.
I have a feeling she's going to pay for
Oh.
you guys, so don't take it.
Okay,
Take
right.
it. Don't expect it, but there's a possibility.
Yeah, no, that's before the idea that Jason was something that ladies first, but if Mrs. Johnson is directing him to the going with it, well, that's fine. He'll order an entree and main.
Mm-hmm.
Paying middle of the road for both of them. I think particular not the highest thing on the menu, but not the lowest either. So it pays the middle of the road.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
What was that?
I was just going to say, we've had Johnson spend up to 10 grand a head for us at food in the past, so...
So she orders for the her three, and she says we will discuss after we eat.
Did you order something? Oh, you're not allowed to because you're not allowed to sit with them. So you've gone there to eat and you can't eat?
So I'm going to stay here a little bit longer.
Okay, so that they bring in some amazing dishes. You can just smell the spice.
Asparagus and mash on the menu.
Yes.
Cool. I'll order it to go.
They don't do orders to go. And you can see Bolt drooling on the other side of the food coming in. As you see, quite a few trays being put on the table. There's extra entrees ordered, and she said to Tarlin and Desrin that they can help themselves. As you see, spring rolls, some fish sticks, and various fruits and cheeses.
Desmond will certainly happily partake. Not necessarily bulging or like that taking more than his share or anything, but will certainly accept the generous offer, recognising that, hey, he might have to pay for some anyway, so therefore he's not trying to take all of it by any stretch.
Okay.
Mom will very, very politely decline and say that she's on a very special diet at the moment. Or grapes.
Okay, so when your grapes come, it comes in a large salad bowl. Basically, it's large enough that you think it easily has over 100 grapes in it.
Perfect, exactly what I wanted.
Are they all standard sultana grapes, or are they various varieties?
Each grape is almost the size of a fist.
I eat every single one with a knife and fork. I leave the bowl empty. There are no grapes left.
I am surprised Martin hasn't made you roll to make sure a grape doesn't end up going out from underneath your knife and fork.
I could make it a
I'm
coordination
happy to
check.
roll.
Yeah, I was
I'll bet
thinking-
it all.
Great. So, Bolt and myself are having seafood.
Yeah, they see food, but they can't eat it.
I was going to say, I missed it. Why weren't they allowed to...
Because they were standing at the back, because there was no seats that could support them.
Yes, well, Desmond's being shellfished.
And
You could just find a table out in the front room and...
And you smell the wonderful steaks being carried through. And plate of sausages.
It's very rude, but...
Okay, so they do end up polishing off all the food on the table.
I'm just proud of him. He's got a fairly high discipline. Don't think Bolt does.
Yeah, I'm surprised Flogger and Bolt haven't done something.
Flocker's not
by now.
in. He's outside.
Is he? Why didn't
They
you
left
tell
him
me?
on the
he's
outside of
outside
the
the
door.
room. He's inside the restaurant, he's outside the room that we're eating.
Oh, okay.
Did you actually give the tell Flogger that he was able to allow the waiters in, or they being?
He did, well, he did modify the statement to be waiters, and then he modified it again to so. And there, stay still. No comment about leaving people in or out, it was just stay still.
So Bolt does have one rank in discipline, so Bolt is able to hold himself from leaping on the table and eating the food.
I'm just very
That
unimpressed
one
with
point of
Desrin and
discipline
Talon. Sorry, what was that, Emmy?
Just saying that 1 point of discipline that I put in is finally paying off.
Is it paying off though? You guys get to watch these guys eat well. You don't get to eat anything. And to be honest, if I was in there, I would be doing something about it. But fortunately for everybody, I'm not.
And what they missed is on the outside, Flogger got a taste test of most of the food on the way through.
Mm.
And the thing is that if Shadowstar was in there, then Shadowstar would be eating because she can fit down at the table.
If
And
Shadowstar was
the
sitting at the
others-
table, she would be sharing her plates with Bolt and Womp.
And the others will get their reward from the fact that they haven't destroyed the meeting, and therefore the Shadowrun will get paid for the Shadowrun potentially.
See now, Desrin, I was just starting to trust and like you.
So,
And your disrespect for our fellow Shadowrunners in
so
this
does that mean
manner.
that Desmond is actually going to give us some of his money?
No.
To the fact that he's actually, because we're not destroying the place.
No.
That's what it sounded like.
Okay, so
No.
Yeah,
when the
we get a better cut.
so when they finish eating the fabulous meal, the young one is sent outside to help keep guard with Flogger. And she turns to the others when the door is shut.
Deckard's immediately thinking, "Oh, good. I'm not the only one that deals with colleagues, but don't necessarily fit in polite society."
And she says, maybe you've heard of a group known as the Association Para Nobilis. The public know them.
Have I?
The Association Para Nobilis.
Yeah, I understand. What the idea is it a name that rings bells for Declan immediately?
It's a pro-elf group.
Okay, yep. Well, we have heard of it then.
The public knows them as proponents of the elven ideal, but my client has somewhat of a different view. At this point, Charlie tosses Desrin an envelope.
Is it sealed?
It's not sealed.
Oh, yep. I will certainly, while she's talking then, I will open it up and a flick of the content. If you want to be in there.
You open it, you get the smell of chemicals that you're not used to. And you see inside printed photographs.
Okay.
This person has gone non-digital.
I'm sure Mont's very impressed. But yeah, so okay, well,
Cool. Is it
been
in
looking
colour
at
or
the
black and
photos
white?
then.
Black and white.
Even better. Or is it?
If Charlie's still talking, then Kirby's still listening, but also looking at the photos.
The photos are all of elves who have been murdered. And the cause of death is always an archaic weapon, such as a sword, bow, and that sort of thing. Would fit right in with Womp's aesthetics.
I was gonna say, it
But when
sounds
we're
like
talking sword, we're not talking like monofilament blades or things like that.
No tech whatsoever.
Okay.
And she continues, the APN has been killing elves who don't believe in their elven ideal concept of skipping through the meadows and playing a fragging lute. My client wants them eliminated. He's offering 20,000 yuan plus certain bonuses that I'll explain in a moment. The APN headquarters... The APN headquarters building is near the Renraku Arcology. It's in the shadow, would be more accurate. The target of this run are the 6 core members of the APN who live in the headquarters. It will be tough, but one I believe you can handle without bringing the Renraku Reds down upon your heads, which is the special forces of Renraku.
And for those of us who don't know who Renraku is, who's Renraku?
They are one of the AAA corporations that run the corporate court, which are the most powerful organization in the world.
Okay.
Okay, I spoke of bonuses earlier. The first is for dropping this off. She holds up a sealed envelope. You are to leave this on top of the APN leader, who I'd like to call Zarek the Mad. This part of the run is worth an extra 2,500 yuan. The second bonus is for a bit of headhunting. The APN is composed almost entirely of posers, elf wannabes who have had surgery and or wear false ear tips to look more like elves. My client wants the false left ear tip of each APN core member for a further bonus of 3,000 yuan per tip. These bonuses will bring the combined total for the job to approximately 4,000 yuan, which should be more than enough for a night's work. My client cares little for the final condition of the APN, as long as they are shut down. The 6 ear tips are collected and the envelope is delivered. And she says, so, are you up for this, posers? She says.
This is confusing. So, they're an elf group.
Yeah, pro-elf.
But they're elf posers.
Yes.
They said they are a pro-elf group, but we're talking, from their perspective, it's elves who are Vulcan elves, not real elves, or elves in the real world.
They believe they've been, in their psychology for some reason. They're saying, well, I wasn't born an elf, but I still believe in the elfin thing. I'm going to make myself look like an elf.
I identify as an elf.
Yeah, basically. And because there are real elves out there that they feel don't fulfill their standards as, like...
Yeah, the only reason I would agree to this is they're actually forcing their views on other people.
Well, they're murdering these elves.
But the contradiction is we're actually forcing everybody else's views back onto them.
Well, they're murdering real elves who don't live up to their standards of elfdom.
Okay, since they're murdering... Are they actually mutilating the elves as well?
No.
They're killing anyone who doesn't meet their ideal.
So it's...
And anyone
So the
includes
people that are
elves.
killing are not actually elves, they're fake elves.
No, the people that are killing are actual elves, but the people doing the killings are fake elves putting elven rights the way they want their elven rights to be.
But they're also screwing up elven rights.
Well, that's what I said. The elven rights that they believe, not real elven rights.
and you're talking about whether mutilating their victims.
Yeah, I was kind of sneaking
well,
suspicion they might actually be
these
cutting
days-
their ears off them as well.
These
There's a photo
days,
showing
killing
it.
them with blunt weapons like medieval sword and arrows would count as mutilation.
Yeah, so the photos that you see don't show any mutilation as far as I can tell. They just show that they're being killed with a sword or shot with a bow and arrow or killed with an axe, you know, something that's medieval in style or archaic.
But the point being, like, in modern terms, a sword is a mutilating weapon.
Oh, it's
If you're using a medieval style sword, not a monoclonal type sword.
Either way,
That's what
you've got,
I'm getting at.
I believe you've got to kill, 2 leaders and then
One
6
leader and 6 followers.
1 leader and 6 followers. So there's 7 people you've got to kill over a night. You've got to leave an envelope on the chest of one and take the left ear tip of each of the 6 followers who are fake elves. And I can't remember the monetary bonuses. I think it was $2,500.
Well,
for that.
it's in total 40 grand
Yeah.
given to the group for that.
Yeah.
Divided it as you see fit.
Okay, there's a note of the end turn there of well poses type stuff. It can actually hold on his ear to convert it to a real one, as he says. It's an interesting offer, and it certainly sounds like a worthy cause. Perhaps we can discuss the price.
She says, I'm sure she's more than happy to discuss the price. What do you have in mind?
So you calculated that it was approximately 40,000 for the base run at 20, the delivery of package at 2.5, and another 6 ear chips at $2,000 each. So that's 40.5 grand if we get all of that.
Are you suggesting a reduction in price?
Well, technically, he has suggested a reduction in price because he got one of the values wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I made the comment.
The other thing is, if we take both ears, do we get an additional bonus?
She says no.
Is Walt actually talking? Have you been exclusive with it?
Yep, Womp did
What
talk.
one did say
She
something?
said no. I don't think it's fine. I'm waiting for him to come up with a good argument for why I want more.
And again, obviously, the discussion about a reduction in price was not something that Desmond was hearing.
No, I'm not in the room, so it's just the player noting that you had reduced the price by $6,500 in your calculations because you'd left off some of the bonuses. So you've actually, at the moment, if you're saying those calculations out loud, you're actually $6,500. No, $5,500
He's
short.
$6,000 short.
Yeah.
How are you figuring that?
Big pause. It was 20,000 for the job, 2.5 for the envelope, 3,000 per tip, not 2,000 per tip that you stated.
2,000 per tip, so
Yes.
Yeah. So and then okay. Or maybe I calculated. Maybe I. In terms of 2,000, when you said that the total was 40,000, so I was thinking, because I was doing the calculation in my head, well, hang on, that's 40.5. So
Well, that works to 40,500 if you got all of it, which is the approximately 40,000.
Yeah, no, that's right. But that would be, okay, sorry, I said, yep. Okay. If she said 3,000, then Desmond would certainly send 3,000 as well, because hey, he certainly pays attention to money. but yes,
So
so
it
total
depends on
price
how
there,
generous the DM is.
40.5.
Oh, he's a Scrooge, so he knows about money.
Go Jeremy.
So basically, the run through the totals again out loud to kind of the discussion of the remuneration, and the suggests that, well, maybe we can look at, say, 45 total, obviously, with some portion up front.
Are you giving a reason for why you put it up by $4,500?
Just bargaining.
Okay.
To
To be honest, if I was there, I would have gone, it's a difficult job. We are going to have to track 7 people down in one night. They may not be in all in one place. That's going to take more resources. Therefore, I'd proffer $4,500.
So Charlie says to Deseret in response, okay, so you want an extra $4,500. What are you offering for that extra $4,500?
A right ear.
She doesn't want to write here.
No, I already asked about
She's
that.
already said that.
She says your good-looking troll on the left, who you've ignored through the entire meal, is right.
Well, we asked her, what would you give us for an extra 4-something K?
No, so it's simply the fact that, well, at the very least, as you mentioned, we're talking the shadow of Renraku.
Yes, she's already paying well for that. She could find someone else if you prefer. Your concern for the money doesn't seem to be in line with what she's paying.
If you're going to ask for more, you need to found it based on the fact that the job is difficult.
She says, how about I'll pay for lunch?
Yeah, can we just...
Now I'm evil-eyeing Desmond with that one. Death stares.
This is where you should use your charm and say, but me and my colleagues didn't get lunch, so would it be fair? Unless we were able to eat as well.
No, but...
Because then you get your bangers and mash. And Bolt would get something to eat. And maybe
Can I
Fulver
try
too.
and, charm the money?
Yeah, but unfortunately,
charm.
but the thing is, Desmond is the one who's doing the talking.
And we have Tylen asking if she can charm.
Oh, great. The charm monster
Keeping
is...
in mind, every time I've tried to do this, I've failed.
No, the charm monster has started.
Okay. Oh, I'm gonna reach these.
It'd be scary when she gets,
Did you want me to move the dice in the book?
what was it, 4 levels of charm?
I can grab things for you. If you tell me what you need.
I'll need the green dice and the purple dice and the red dice. And the blue
And can
dice.
I actually raise it to 5K, or is that like outside of the turn?
Well, that depends on
Depends
how
on
good
the-
you are at negotiating.
You've got lots of interesting abilities with your enhancements.
To be honest, Ezran probably should have got you to do the negotiation from the start. It's usually the reason he brings you along.
Okay. Certainly, Desmond's more than happy to have Harlan's input into the negotiations. But the... Go on.
I was going to say, she's also already commented that she finds Womp a very charming man as well, so...
Well,
Gentlemen.
I'm charming for a troll, but the thing is, I'm a shadow compared to
The charm monster.
the charm monster. As soon as she starts getting some skills in it, it'll be even worse. Like her base is like 3 times mine.
Don't neglect that as an opportunity.
So does Tylen wish
For
to
yourself
use
as
any
well.
of her abilities?
All of
okay,
them.
I'm just looking at my little page.
More
I'm-
skilled.
I will
Versus
send
just
you
walk
the
talent.
link in the chat on Discord if that helps.
Oh, I'm looking at it now. Are we looking at skill? It's like charm, coercion, deception, leadership. That one.
Yep. And you can see that one's probably the one you particularly want to use.
So I can use a skill.
God. That is awesome. That lowers the difficulty.
Mm.
And you've got 2 ranks in it.
Okay, so could someone help me decide?
So
I'm using charm.
Yeah, so basically, for you to charm me, you using that, you basically destroy me straight away.
But she's asking for recommendations for charming Charlie.
Yeah, you definitely want to use the
Congenial?
Congenial.
Mm-hmm.
What does that do?
That lowers the difficulty with your rank levels. You've got 2 ranks in it, so you decrease the difficulty by 2.
Yes, 100%. Let's do it. Roll that dice.
I'm not.
It's not decreases, it downgrades. They are 2 different words.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, downgrades it.
Decrease removes a purple dice.
Well, downgrade a purple goes to
Downgraded removes a red dice.
Oh, okay.
Removes,
I thought it drops it down to black.
But technically, it shouldn't remove a red dice until it's gotten rid of all the purple dice.
Do you want to spend a token to upgrade?
I'm actually not going to.
Yes.
I feel like we might be in for a bit of a
No, the answer is yes.
We got plenty in.
Oh, yes?
It's very easy to get them back.
Oh, okay, yes, hell yes.
It's only for purists like Bolt and Flogger who love the disaster. Not to say that you couldn't go that way as well, but in this case, since it's about money, and you want more money, probably yes.
Okay, so you got 2 successes and 4 advantages. She's happy to give you the 4K increase. We'll make it the 4.5K increase, as well as throw lunch in.
Alright. Better than a poke in the eye with a blood stick.
In the spirit of including your teammates, are you going to say anything about that my teammates, would that include my teammates having a chance to eat at this delightful place?
Yeah, actually I'm going to ask them to, before we get the bill, we'll be whacking some takeaway on that. I hope they don't mind.
She laughs at that and says this place doesn't do takeaway, but I was hoping you weren't going to leave your teammates standing all the time without food. She would have considered that quite rude.
Oh my gosh, of course it is. Yes, please, let's feed them.
She says, yes, she will have the 3 of your teammates can be served in here once they bring in some decent chairs after we go. And I've instructed the staff that you'll be waiting on them for the service.
Yeah. Now I wish I was in there.
I'll pocket some meat for you. Some grapes.
Meat.
Those grapes are the size of grapefruit. Or did they get?
Oh,
or did they get confused between grapes and grapefruit?
You saw her stat swamp. She can hide those grapes on her. She can hide like a whole bowl full on her.
Except I ate 100 fist-sized grapes, so things are gonna get pretty rough later on. Just
I'm so glad I don't share a room with you.
Just lucky they weren't prunes.
She'd have a little bit more empathy for the people on her last run. Pun intended.
Okay, so...
people hurt people, that's why I have no empathy.
It's actually a fairly accurate saying.
Okay, so on her way out, she hands Womp the sign-on fee of 5,000. And she says you'll get the 40k upon proof of completion.
Actually, where do we need to deliver the years to?
And as Edward says farewell, as you mentioned, pleasure doing business.
She does a elaborate bow as she leaves.
If she exits the restaurant from the front where I'm parked, I'm standing out there and I'll just give her a nod.
I really need to get deadly.
Okay, so you do find that the staff are rather quick to get Desrin and Tarlin to the kitchen to start helping prepare the food as well.
Still, if I can see this through the window, I will enjoy the sight.
And one of the concierges comes out to Shadowstar and say, "I hear there's a table waiting for you."
I'm not doing a very good job at being stealthy, but I did nod at Charlie as she came out. I wasn't trying to hide myself. I guess I'll go in. I wasn't actually intending to come in.
And you see Flogger, Womp, Bolt sitting around a table with his chair set aside for you.
And where's Desrin and Tarlin? I'll ask them.
Yeah, where are we?
Probably that coming for food.
Well, I don't. I know you guys, but you're not in the room right now, so I'm asking Womp, Flogger, and Bolt.
They've already eaten.
Yeah, like I said,
they've eaten.
thanks for asking.
Have
When
they
we
left?
enter.
You see Tarlin and Desrin enter with plates of food, a sort of apron tied around them.
For Desrin's sake, I won't smile.
I'm
I'll
smiling.
just keep poker face because I don't want to hurt his pride at this point.
Why? He managed to get an extra $5,000 out
But
of
I'll
this.
look to Flogger and I'll say, now Flogger, you might understand, you are present here, as in you're attending, at the table.
How does Flogger respond as he's currently on mute?
Sorry, I was just having dinner.
All good.
Oh, well, you're currently stuffing your face in...
In and out of game.
Yes,
His live action role playing.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean he's eating with his hands there, Emmy? Do trolls use knives and forks?
No, I'm just face down on the plate right now.
Yeah, okay. Probably doesn't hear me then.
So what was the question? I probably do hear you.
We're sitting at the table having a meal because Tarlin's managed to put in that we get food as well at the really nice restaurant. And I say to you, you are now present, as in you're in attendance, at the table. So I'm kind of trying to teach you those words, but I do it sort of as if you're a 2-year-old.
Good luck teaching Flogger words.
I don't know. Can I do a roll to see if I succeed?
Well, he's unwrapping food at the table.
Yep.
Yeah.
Presents at the table.
Yeah. Maybe. Oh well. I guess what I'm trying to teach him is next time. Desrin sends him a message to be present at a table. He doesn't try and take, I don't know, the local dining table or the restaurant dining table and give it to someone that, you know, he knows that he's going to go to a table and eat food.
But it's more fun if you take the table.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did I didn't hear that? Did Flogger say something?
Flogger says, presents a table.
Yes.
Archer. Gets up, finds another table, and gives you a present.
See, this is why I was going to say, can I roll to see if I actually communicate successfully to Flogger
You were presented a table with lots of food on it.
I tell Flogger to gently put the table back and to let Desrin present him food at the table.
While they're doing that, I'm currently quietly eating my bangers and mash.
Look, at least I tried.
It is German style.
Okay. What? No mushy peas as well.
No mushy peas, but it has sauerkraut through the mashed potato.
Cool. Okay. Something different.
And the sausages are German style sausages.
Ooh, spicy.
Bratwurst instead of.
Hey, at least it's not black pudding. You need a special style for that one.
That said, even though I
Oh my God.
won't smile or laugh or carry on, I will take an awfully long time to eat my food, and I will order. I'll remember sides that I want every time Desrin or Talon turn up with something. I'm like, oh, could I get some salt, even though I've got no intention of using the salt.
Can I also get the stein to go with this meal?
Yes, you do end up with a stein.
Cool. Troll-sized stein.
But I won't prolong it too much, but just enough to get my own little bit of joy out of a moment.
Hey, everyone's happy that people take as long as they would want to take. Because, hey, we can appreciate the opportunity to be down here in downtown, and any exploration or training that might get through about how to actually be in real world society, Beckham's all for. Because, hey,
Look,
he's not his trained vlogger.
you know, I did try, but yeah, I don't know what skill trying to train. Well, I don't like the word train, but help trolls and bolts and that. Actually, I don't know what bolt is like in terms of social skills and that, but I'm trying to help them add to their social skills so that they are more successful.
So while training Bolt finds that some of the shiny stuff burns.
I'll ask him.
The cutlery.
And plates and
I'm guessing
serving
it's
trays.
iron.
Silver.
Silver. In which case, we'll send Desrin back to get non-silver utensils and
Bolt doesn't need utensils.
if Bolt's,
I thought it'd be like porcelain plates.
Well, the plates that you're eating off are porcelain plates, yes, but the serving trays are silver.
Yeah. Bolt shouldn't be touching the serving tray. That's the job of the two elves.
The thing is, Bolt probably doesn't put two and two together.
Well, I don't either.
Maybe I do.
But you've got cunning, so
You do understand when something hurts you.
So, you may not understand why it's hurting you yet, or understand that it's a particular material that's hurting you, as opposed to, oh, hang on, that serving tray was hot for some reason.
whereas Shadow would.
Although Negron or Talon is holding it as if it's not hot.
And if you showed that you were feeling pain, Shadow would definitely go, that's silver, you shouldn't touch it. And then
The thing is, Bolt probably wouldn't show pain.
I don't know.
Unless it got really, really bad.
Well, it's quite obvious to the others when you pick it up because they can hear the sizzling.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Can I do a
And
law on that?
admittedly, it probably noted before any of the serving trays, or if one look at the serving trays you touched first, it was probably the cutlery.
Yeah, it's likely the cutlery you touched first, which we can have swapped out for straight stainless steel or wooden salad fork and spoon, which would probably be more appropriately sized for Bolt's hands, maybe.
Well, but then the next question would be, from a character perspective, is have either characters have actually worked out or confirmed that Bolt is actually lycanthropic at this
That's what I'm
point?
saying.
Oh,
Before
yeah.
I can make a forbidden law, because I don't think any of us know that he's.
Exactly, that's what I mean. Like, it's just
Yeah. Did
and I don't know if any of us have actually dealt with lycanthropes directly, so
What's a law?
it might not be it might be a surprise at the thought that or why the silver could be a problem.
Well,
We don't
that's
know.
a
I
good
don't know
point.
whether we know.
Well, Womp wanted to make a forbidden law roll. Guess
So what would be able to make connection better than most other people? So.
But the other thing is, I also know that he's also being with Trixie and trying to help him with his condition.
Yeah, I might have some clue because I've seen Bolt astrally, so I would automatically just make the assumption that that's why.
And Flogger's having trouble with salt.
Salt.
Flogger can't eat salt. That we would need to do a law roll on. So, if Flogger uses salt, what's his...
He immediately spits it out.
Oh, okay. You don't like salt?
There goes the all the salted meat in there. And was it silver salt?
Well, I guess at this stage I wouldn't think anything of it, just that he doesn't like salt. So, I wouldn't necessarily... Although I have seen I've seen him astrally too.
But again, also, he probably not actually dealt with salt much previously, because hey, the salt the will part through the close to the courier products of the random chemical given. So.
Well...
It's one of the first times you've actually had rich food and rich cutlery since you've been afflicted with various things.
Did you want to do the one... Because I haven't advertised what's on with Bolt. Do you...
I won't advertise what. Because it's...
But do you want to do a law check on Bolt's burning when he holds the silver?
Yeah, I can do that. But
You don't
that'll
have to.
be more of confirming my suspicions.
Sure,
but
give me a
that's
law check. What is your law?
that'll be 2 yellow, 1 green. Yeah, I will use a...
Use a story point, or what are they called?
Story
Destiny.
point is the correct term.
Sorry.
So you succeed, though you are sweating profusely. You know that Bolt has received a severe allergy for some reason. It's considered a major drawback.
He's sweating profusely because he's got a suspicion as to why that might be. And that's very worried.
And
Put it down to the sauerkraut and the potatoes.
And the things that historically you've read that have severe allergies to silver are either werewolves or vampires. And both have wolf motifs.
Yeah. But...
And both could be the same wolf motif you're seeing.
Yes, but... I've seen Bolt outside in the sun.
Yes, but Bolt's also ripped people's heads off with his jaws, or faces off to be more precise.
That's
so you're not
not
exactly
graphic at
sure.
all.
So you're not sure, does that make Bolt more likely to be a werewolf or a vampire? But none of the people you've heard of Bolt biting have come back.
To be honest, we haven't checked.
Or the other... Actually, has Bolt left any victims alive?
No.
So, Bolt's got 100%...
Oh no, Bolt's bit Flogger more than once.
Something tells me Flogger doesn't
count.
Well, he asked if there was any victims that you've bitten left alive, so technically Flogger is...
Okay, now that's got me slightly worried as well, because Flogger has bitten me as well.
So look, obviously there's Wolf.
There's a reason you're sweating.
Does Flubber react at all to holding the silverware?
No.
There's your answer. Flubber is not changed.
Well, except that he doesn't like
No,
salt.
Flogger has changed.
No, I mean
He's got something big, nasty, and scary inside of it. I don't want him to actually lose consciousness.
he hasn't changed into either a vampire or a werewolf after being bitten
No,
by
it-
bolts.
Yeah, but
He did change into something that could kill Legacy.
yeah, I got a sneaky suspicion you got basically Bolt this, whatever Flogger is this, so little thing will not succeed big thing.
Alright, well, after the meals, we'll head off. I can take one troll and 2 other people. Who wants to come in the car? Presume
Yeah, I will.
you'd like to go in the car?
Mhm.
I also will want to catch up with what the actual job is.
I think I might start eating some garlic.
You haven't been already?
I haven't been able to buy garlic yet because I am in the wrong spot.
Trixie's garden. She'll take reasonable.
Yeah, there's a little bit of an issue with me going up.
No, she's met you. Remember last session? Or, no, not last session. Session before. We had her.
Actually,
look
no.
you over.
I'm pretty sure we've introduced you.
Yeah, we have.
We have.
This is where he said, "Beware the painted man." I'm going,
Anything we
oh,
do.
okay.
And what was that, Jeremy?
Saying, yeah, he certainly won't spoken to Trixie because Wonk asked about whether Trixie had any cure his afflictions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also was talking to her about dream catchers and things like that.
I've been trading work and donations and doing runs in return for some fresh foods when they're available, and I've been having garlic because exactly that I'm worried about. The people in our company, in the sense of I don't want to become like them. I don't mind hanging out with them.
Well, I'm in the wrong spot for trying to heal the land at the moment.
I don't think Bolt or Flogger want to be healed. I don't think
No,
Flogger even
I'm talking about
understands-
healing the land.
Oh, right, yeah.
I've only just started down that path.
Mhm. Anyway, so
Elemental Earth.
if people are happy to head back, we'll need to figure out how to do
So,
this job.
Desmond, when's the start date on this thing?
Yeah.
Well, there was no date given for when the run had to be completed, so at this stage it's a bit more research, legwork to find out more about this Nobilis group and find out exactly where they are, who they are. Try and get more names and details from these photos. No, because the photos are actually of victims, weren't they? They weren't necessarily photos of
Is
the.
there,
They were photos of the victims, yes.
was there any other
Yeah, that's right.
information? Sorry.
So the sense of, yes, we'll have to actually do some research to find out who the leaders are of the group. So we know exactly which ears we're looking for.
Did,
And, yeah.
did the envelope have anything, or did it just have photos? Did you look? There might be a note paper in there or something with, or there might be names on the back of the photos.
So, well, certainly, we can look through the other details provided. Obviously, not the sealed envelope. But yep, the open envelope. We'll look, confirm if there was anything in there that was missed or not noticed in the brief glance through while looking through it while Charlie was talking. But yeah, at this stage, it's a bit of legwork just to find out more about the group we're going to eliminate.
Martin, were there
And Desmond's not displeased at the fact that this time we do get to kill the ones that are getting elves. Unlike the Humanist Folly Club where we were supposed to kill them.
Yeah. Well, arguably, I don't know about the killing part yet, so I don't know if I'm participating or taking the job yet. I'll have to ask you about it, which is, I guess, what I'm going to do once we get home. Do we get home?
I'm happy for you to get home okay. I was just not reading ahead to remind myself what it is you're doing and can do.
Yep.
So were the victims sinless or not?
Well, I guess that's one of the things we've got to find out. But Desmond's accepted the job, and we've all eaten at the table, so we've agreed to it.
Oh, I'll just kind of do it anyway.
So that's where I'll ask to look at the photos and look at the back of the photos to see if there's names, or if there's any information in the envelope. But I'm sure Desmond's doing that too. So
Certainly, yeah. Like if we're happy that we've gone back to the dead shop building to discuss what's happening and things like that, I'm assuming it's probably early evening by the time we get back. But after you guys have enjoyed your long lunch, and then take a look at the photos, confirm whether there's any other information in that envelope and things like that. Take a look at the sealed envelope and have a consideration of how big it is, and heavy it is, that sort of thing. Just get an idea of what might be inside.
It is a A4 sized envelope with a fancy seal on it.
Okay, and so we're talking like an envelope rather than a package type stuff. So it's a matter of no more than some paper. Is that it inside?
You would not expect it to have more than a single sheet or two, and you do see a stylized H in the seal.
Right.
A law check or
Well,
operation check for that one?
Harliquin.
Could you say that again, Jeremy? You faded right out.
I was just I was actually I heard the other start to talk, so I did stop talking. I just had to say, Desmond will hold it up to the light to see if he can see through the envelope or anything like that, to see what might be in there. But he's not overly concerned if you can't decipher it.
Holding up to light, you can actually see something inside it. I was going to see if I can actually, because I was just reading that section, except I went back to another one because you're doing something else. It seems to be the cover of a book, the title page.
Okay, can we work out what can I work out what the title actually says?
Yes, you believe it's the one you stole on the last run.
The last run we did for Harliquin, that wasn't the Humanist one. Where Miss Teehee was...
This was the stealing the book.
Yeah.
And deleting all the electronic copies of it.
Yeah.
Wasn't that from an elf extremist as well?
It was from an extremist.
It was from an elf extremist, yes. And this is another elf extremist group, even if they're non-elves.
Well,
Yeah, but the other thing is, I thought that book was not supposed to be published.
Yes, but only one person had the copy of it.
So it was
from what we actually looked up with Aaron the Scribe, I wouldn't describe it as an elf extremist. He was he is an elven scholar of great academic connections.
So he was portrayed as an elven extremist in the sense of elves first.
So,
Okay, so like this. The book he was writing about was of the how good elves are. So, and how they are like the first race type thing, all that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, from Womp's understanding, it sounded like it was doing my struggle as an elf.
So he was a social theorist, basically. And his theory basically was based around elves being the first and more superior species.
With the title "Being Mankind Revealed,"
Mm-hmm.
I finally found the paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And so this could be, he could be a member or could indeed be the leader of this. And it says, it does say he backs young elven polygroups, and calls the shots of a young elven tech group. Apparently he has no aura, has been seen to cast magic though, he's a skilled sword fighter, he's frightening when angry, considered very powerful. So if he indeed is the leader of this group, and we are needing to kill him, we will have our work cut out for us.
It seems unlikely that he'll be the leader of an elven poser group.
No, that could be Malachi Morgan, who's the head of Sylvan Publishing, I think.
You were
Oh,
told
the publishing house that we got the books from.
the group was told the leader's name of this group.
Oh, I see. Yep.
It's very mad.
Yes.
Okay, yep. I've stopped writing halfway through, which means my hands went numb and I didn't get all the details.
And like I said, if anyone was actually involved in Elven Poly Clubs, essentially a tech club or a technology type club, that sounds very much not
Yeah,
the Paranobilus Elven Posers.
that does sound like the opposite. So maybe this book, considering that it might be attached to kind of the opposite of what the Paranobilus people are, it might be kind of like mocking them. Maybe.
It is only the page. The front cover has no text or
Okay.
content.
And right, so we'll do a bit more searching on this Paranobilus group and things like that, and see what we can find out online, at least in quick search and things like that. But does this group look like it's a local group only, or is it a wider organisation? Is it a local chapter of the group, or?
Okay, having a quick dig in the records. It's not that hard to find notes on Paranobilus. It was basically founded on the highest hopes and principles of its founder, Leo Ridgeworth, who died in 2043. As the rest of the group believed that it was murder and not a monorail accident. The 27 members of that group, led by Aaron Mitchell, who was the former secretary, went on a murder spree, taking out opponents of the APN, with only 6 surviving members. So I'd have to. So the leader is one of the 6, not separate. I figured that out after reading it. So one of the years you need to get is the leaders. Mitchell, now known as Xeric, called a halt to the violence and began a recruitment drive to rebuild the APN. Its membership is said to be around 300, and all based in Seattle.
And was there any indication then, either historically or prior to this 300, this recent recruitment drive, were they always elk posers? Or is it the idea that...
They've never had a true elf amongst them.
Okay.
Interesting.
But they are all done up to look like elves, and there are footage of them, of their ears falling off.
Okay. So then again, I don't necessarily think that leaving this page from Aaron the Scribe on the body of Xeric the Mad would be a message to this nobilis group, because if we take out the 6 leaders, then there's possibly not much left of the group when you consider that the rest of the group, the 300 are all recent recruits. But
Could be a
make a
message
different
to.
ideas because we're never part of the original 27.
But
they went on a murder spree.
You do find a note on there saying that the APN does butt heads with the young elven technocrats fairly often.
A young elven technocrat.
Yep, which is a direct link to which is a direct link to the Ethereum the Scribe notes that Shadowstar had just mentioned.
Yeah, the tech poly group or the elven tech poly group that everyone supported.
If you're going to go to the trouble of leaving an envelope within which is the title page of a book, it's likely to be some kind of message to someone.
Oh, absolutely. It's like I'm definitely agreeing message to someone, but just thinking, well, it would not appear to be a message to the guys that we're killing because they're probably not going to do much reading.
No, it might be a message to anyone who might want to fulfill their leadership, or it could be a message to others who might try to butt heads with the guy who's killing them, or it could even be a message from Harliquin to the people who employed him, to whom he's delegated this assassination job to, that he's had the job done.
Well, yep, I would certainly be thinking a message from Harliquin to somebody. But yes, it's not really our problem.
No, I was just theorising because it's kind of sometimes better to be aware of the possible consequences and people that us doing this job might involve.
Yep, and as a player, I have absolutely I agree wholeheartedly. It's a bit more pragmatic and that, hey, they're paying us to do it, we'll do it.
And you'd also get kudos with the ancients for doing so.
Well, for taking out this Paranobilis group, the elf posers that are going around trying to kill elves. Yep. If I suspect that elves that run around on motorcycles probably don't fit their mould of what elves should be.
To be honest, all the elves in this group probably don't fit their model of what elves should be.
Oh no, I don't think either. That's absolutely.
Well, from then, I'll probably be the closest.
Yeah,
it's not like it's not like any elves in the current in the world of 2050. There's very few of them that would fit the role or the beliefs that they think they should be.
And if they are, they're an island.
But even then, that's still not as... They're extreme, but they still won't fill up these poses as view. They'll be still different.
Well, the posers would never see them. That's the issue.
No, because they wouldn't be able to step in Ireland. They'll be killed off in England. Even the druids would kill them off.
In that respect, but then I guess we want to figure out where these guys live.
Yep, that's right. So we know that obviously they're based in Seattle. We've been told they're in the shadow of the Marku arcology, but I'm guessing the information we found that talked about the history and the current membership and everything like that. I'm assuming we've actually looked at from Diesel's ability to do much by the computer search. He did a Google search and found their website that basically presumably had their address and bits and pieces. Did you have any detail on the six leadership members or anything like that?
Having a look at it, you do manage to pull up a quick list of those involved. You get someone by the name of Allaire, who was a core member.
Allaire?
Yep, said to be a security systems expert. Dresses as a necromancer.
When they say security systems expert, are we talking, he's really good on chains and locks? Medieval security?
Well, you're not exactly sure because hey, they are already not following their creed very well.
Well, and to be fair, it's not like they're saying that whilst they would love to be real elves, they recognise they're not real elves, but all the real elves should be real elves, TM.
Yes, and the next member you pull up has very little information associated with him. They have the name Death Edge, Death Edge as a single word.
As
Yep.
EDGE.
Yep. And known to wear black and utilize medieval to current weaponry.
I'd like to interject with the note that I spelled Death Edge as TRYING-TOO-HARD.
Sorry, I
Trying
can't
too
picture
hard.
that. The next one listed is Arundel, also a core member. And he's the one that looks the closest to the classic elf in makeup. He's a tall, blonde, and exceptionally good looking. And he seems to be the happy-go-lucky member of the group.
So he'll be the one I'll be saddest to kill?
The next member is Farafal the Red. She is always dressed in red, and was said to be very close to the previous leader.
The one that died in the monorail murder?
Yep.
Depending on who he was.
Also hinted to be magically active.
So we'll have to have spells planned. You do the heal and the shielding, right?
Next one you have is Thyran, who is listed as the Master of Arts. Master of Arms. Completely different to arts.
Yeah.
Expert in medieval combat, and basically a Olympian level skilled swordsman.
Need to be careful.
Said to have many scars from all the fights he's won.
So basically he's shooting.
Yeah, from a distance. That's Desmond's specialty.
Yeah.
That leaves you with the leader, Zarek the Mad. And the notation here is saying definitely mad.
I was going to say, is that the name that he put on the website? At the club?
You realise that the information you're getting didn't actually come from the website. This is a little package that your computer came back as search results for.
Yeah, basically, yes. Tatiana saw what I was trying to do and then provided the information I actually wanted, as opposed to the...
But of course, Desron thinks he did this all himself because he's just that good.
Absolutely, oh yeah.
To be honest, I'm not sure how Tatiana manages sometimes.
And listed as the one who'd come up with the current strategies and belief system about how he alone can save the elves. And it says the most delusional thing about him is he actually believes this.
Most madmen will believe themselves. That's what makes them definitely mad.
And his force of personality is such, others now believe him too.
Okay, so he's brainwashed.
Okay. So that implies then that the original leader of the Paranobilus group did not necessarily have quite the same views about what elves should be, and wouldn't necessarily have gone around killing elves that didn't meet that ideal.
Well, from what you can read, the original statement of it was elves are people too, and they should be integrated into society and not treated as the horrors they were believed to be when they first appeared, because people thought they were mutants.
Elves?
Yes, and dwarves.
Okay.
This was before elves and this is before orcs and goblins and orcs and trolls appeared. So elves and dwarves were born.
Yeah. But when did this group actually start?
It started. Sorry, just trying to get the dates right.
I mean, obviously it doesn't really matter, but obviously, yeah, okay, it was, yes. We don't have to go that far back in history to actually recognise that there was that Night of Rage and other bits and pieces, but...
Well, he died 8 years ago, but I'm sure he had been running for a lot longer than that.
There's an awful lot of information in this package. I'm surprised we don't have to do more on-the-ground research.
But that doesn't tell you anything about the current state of affairs. All that is a history dump.
Yeah. Amongst these, like I say, so I've got this description of each of the leader type. Does that also come with photos or images?
It does not. That is basically something you will have to find some way to get. It just describes them.
Happy with that? Yep, that was more that if it did have photos, if not, yep, we will do all I think to take down. So. The location of the headquarters.
So Ares Maps shows you the it to be an old 2-story building located near Renraku Ecology.
Are we talking middle of downtown type stuff again?
Middle of downtown, but not in the downtown district. So you've got two downtowns: the suburb, the region district, and the actual city centre, both having the same name. This is something that's outside the city centre downtown.
Yeah, no. So I'd like you actually. Yes, I was thinking yes, middle of downtown, but not CBD.
Yeah, so it's south of downtown because that's where the Renraku Ecology is found.
How many checkpoints do we have to go through?
Not as many because basically Renraku polices around the ecology itself.
Sorry, Mum. Em and I are going to head to bed. We've been very tired this week.
All good. You guys rest up. I will chat to you on Friday.
Yep.
Thanks, Mum. Thanks, everyone.
All good. Take care.
Two-story building.
Desmond, can you see if they've got any influence with Renraku?
So the information we've got, the fact that they're located next to Renraku, is there indications of Renraku connections, or simply, hey, they're probably located somewhere and there are places that are in the shadow of Renraku?
Hopefully they're just using Renraku as a umbrella as such, just to hide behind them because they're big and scary.
Well, I mean, I like you say, I would think it's even just the idea of, hey, there's real estate that's near Renraku. Renraku might keep more tabs on their neighbours and be willing to stomp heavily on any violent activity that happens near them, just in case they don't want to spread through them. But yeah, it would be interesting to know whether or not they've got direct connections with Renraku, or so. But the argument is if we keep any violence internal, then Renraku won't react if they haven't got connections. But if we do find they've got connections, then we do need to worry about Renraku, even if we do keep it all internal.
Okay, you have heard that if you go to the Department of Public Works, you can gather building plans of most places. They have archives that go back to before the crash.
Okay, yep.
Just don't be on the bad side of Shearwise Corporation if you do.
Okay, so whose toes do we not step on with them? Because most corporations have got a big net.
That is one of their major corps. You haven't dealt with them yet.
So you're saying that like the Shearways and also
We haven't dealt with
the original corporate law, that they're the ones that actually had the legal allowance back in 2011 of corporate property was separate from extraterritorial.
Yep.
But has Shearways got any particular connections with Seattle in that sense? Or?
They run the Department of Public Works and keep the records of the entirety of Seattle. So if you want to get access to it, you have to play nice with them. And there's a reputation amongst runners that you've been hearing that the person who runs the place, if you play nice, she plays nice.
Okay.
As she is said to be ancient and loves cookies.
Ancient? Oh, that would be cool.
Oh no, not another dragon.
But hey, that's cool. Desmond's happy to talk to old ladies.
Do not state old. What would you use to make cookies?
You'd most likely buy them.
So who are you asking?
I'm just going. No, when you mention cookies, are going. I think I might start on learning how to cook, but I'm just going. What? Closest thing I've got to cooking is alchemy.
Yes, I'm sure you can make cookies that make people glow.
I can make cookies that heal.
Now, this was actually Saturday afternoon we had the meeting with Carly, wasn't it?
It was, and you basically have 2 days to wait until the Public Works opens.
I was going to say, yes. So obviously Public Works is not going to be open until on the weekend. Okay, well, so I guess we're going to do some other legwork potentially in the meantime.
So the next bit of information you get is that the APN has a weekly Thursday night meeting.
Thursday night?
Mm-hmm.
Any indication of what they do aside from weekly meetings on a Thursday night? The rest of the week scheduled for planning and conducting murders of elves?
I'm sure it's a busy schedule, you know, meet, clean the weapons, sharpen the weapons, kill the bad people, then go back to cleaning and sharpening.
Do they have podcasts of their meetings?
They do not. But the meetings is a invite for new members.
Oh, okay. Well, so like the introductions and things.
What is their view on a troll that identifies himself as an elf.
You don't believe that you would get accepted. There's only one amongst you at this stage who qualifies. Bolt may have to go into another human form who's not here.
Yeah. And put on Spock ears.
Yes, and put on fake ears, yes.
Okay. What
Or
would the ingredients
maybe
get?
Shadowstar, maybe Shadowstar, Desmond, and or Talon can draw lines just around the ear, the base of their ears to make them look like they're stuck on plastic things.
Well, you also need to wear furs and a real sword.
The problem is,
Yeah.
I can't see Talon wear any of that because it's the wrong fashion.
Actually, I'm quite partial to a fur throw over.
Yeah, but not. Yeah, but you're after a specifically treated fur, not something that's recently been killed.
Yeah, I don't want to
think Talon.
hat or anything.
I would think Talon would be able to hit her fashion to the scene that she's going into, or have the scene she's going into hit her fashion. One of the two. Because obviously Talon's a fashion trendsetter. Everywhere she goes, what she's wearing becomes fashion.
Though between the three elves, you would have to say that Talon and Shadowstar are the only ones who could actually do the infiltration as an elf, because Desrin has obvious cyberware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Desmond needs to wear an eye patch.
I could wear an eye patch. If only one of the eyes looks cyber. But yes, what about Thursday night? We could potentially get into a meeting, or at least one of us or some of us might be able to justify getting into a meeting. I get into the public works until Monday. Declan might talk to some of his ancient contacts and see what they know about this Paranobilis group, and if nothing else, confirm that his involvement in wiping out the Terrinoth group won't affect or interfere with his acceptance into the ancients.
But they basically offer to supply you with illegal weaponry.
I'd take them up on that.
Desmond, can you search for chocolate chip cookie recipes, please?
They also recommend looking into Scepter Productions.
Scepter Production?
Scepter as SCEPTRE.
What do I need for cooking? The only thing I've got is alchemy. Oh, okay, I can make magical cookies for that.
Did you get that spelling there, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's cool. Do we know? Do they indicate what Scepter Production actually is, or Declan like that? Declan won't aim to look too stupid at the time. He'll look at it afterwards if it's apparently obvious.
They say it is a online news group.
So it's not Spectre, it's Scepter.
Yeah, Scepter.
I'm just teasing.
Usually it's the letters for Spectre.
Yeah. That's
just done differently, and they do investigative reporting. That is the sole thing behind them.
Do they do it accurately?
As accurately as anyone can in a world where most people lie. Very few people.
And obviously, everybody will put their own bias on whatever story they're telling. So, yeah.
And they do believe that they were investigating the APN.
Oh, okay.
So this might be related to the investigation that was cut short on Humanus as well, possibly.
They're the sort of people who would also investigate Humanus and do undercover work.
But they might have information as well if they're investigating.
Yeah. Although I wouldn't have thought they're going to have any, like, the investigation on Humanus Polyclub appeared to be an official, either legal or like security or governmental investigation based upon the news report. Well, that's what I assumed it was when it was described, but hey, if the news report we're hearing came from Captain Productions, then hey, maybe that's wrong. They were conducting their own investigation.
You do hear that one of their investigative reporters, known as Kerry, had blown the whistle on a Talmar elven slavery ring in the last year out of Africa.
Oh.
And basically her partner on the run died during the investigation.
So I gather this is not just downloaded from the computer, Desmond's gone somewhere? And...
he is speaking to the ancients and they gave him word of mouth.
Yeah.
So, I would like to have some magical cookies.
You might have said it, but was there an implication at all that the Terrinoth Village group were involved in this elven slavery thing, or was that something totally different? It was a different organisation?
That was how the ancients know of the investigative reporter.
Right, okay, yeah. The fact that you put a story out about elven slavery, so yeah.
That she helped put a stop to.
Yeah. Is she elven or human or?
I believe she is human, but is someone that they talk about with respect.
Yeah, okay.
Not a common thing amongst the ancients.
No, okay. Respect amongst ancients.
So think the Lois Lane style reporter.
Oh god! So basically, got bad luck as well because trouble follows her around.
Well, they did say her partner was killed off in the last thing.
Yeah, but her partner's.
Okay. My concern is, my concern is not the bad luck following around. It's her partner following around. Who she's got legacy as her partner. And then, even more disturbing is her partner died on a previous one, so when she was up against still legacy.
Or it may be a cover for the fact that Flogger managed to kill Legacy.
Well, but okay, so did they say how long ago the partner died? Maybe a couple of legacies ago.
No, they didn't actually. It sort of hand waved when it happened.
Yeah. And actually, I'm kind of hoping that no matter how Lois Lane like she might be, I'm not jumping to the conclusion that there might be superhero support on tap. Unless, of course, he works for us. Okay, well, yep, so we'll certainly look into the production. And yeah, okay, well, so I'm happy that probably takes Desmond the next couple of days until Monday at least. So I don't know what others want to do during that time.
Well, considering we are after 10 o'clock, this might be a good point for us to park what happens next.
Yeah, well, if it's for me, it was more the idea, I'm certainly happy to finish up because then I can get to meet and go to sleep. But it was more that if we effectively, like I say, I expect the next step we're looking at now is trying to get in to see the Public Works office and win over the old lady. But yeah, whether or not anyone else had particular plans for Saturday evening and Sunday.
I don't know. I'm guessing if people want to finish up for tonight, then.
Think about what you want to do, I guess, for that time,
Yeah.
and then otherwise the next step will be Monday morning heading towards the Public Works office.
Yep. Okay. I gather we didn't go with Desrin. We're not doing research as a group.
I was just giving.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You certainly can be doing research. I figured that Bedroom going to talk to the ancient was definitely something you'd find stuff.
Desrin with the ancients, but you've got the other one where we found out that there is, I wouldn't say old lady. She's ancient, or she's supposed to be ancient,
okay.
And has got a likes cookies. That's why I went.
Oh, I see.
And
I didn't understand.
And then Desmond was saying old lady. I'm going, don't call her old lady, because I got a suspicion that since we've dealt with old beings before, and they happen to be of a draconic heritage.
Okay, so the Department of Public Works, which controls all of the building plans for Seattle, is run by a company called COIs, one of the major corporations of Shadowrun, which is where they were warned that that's one of the companies they don't want to get on the bad side of, and that it said that archive office there is run by someone who's been there for at least 50 odd years.
Yeah. I get that. I didn't know if there was anything else.
Yeah. So it's probably either an elven heritage or something else.
They got the rough description of 6 members who are the leadership of the APN. No photos of them. That's up for the team to gather and confirm. They would have to do more information digging to get that sort of stuff. Yeah. This was the basics that they had to start their investigations from, and the ancients gave them some basic information as well.
Okay. I was just surprised that there wasn't any other storylines being followed at the moment, but that's okay.
And that's what I was asking, the fact that, hey, technically they've got 36 hours before what Desmond sees as the next step, when people could be following up on anything they can think of, and I'm happy to go down that pathway. So,
I was thinking,
but again, if they can think about that for the next couple of weeks, we can talk about it first thing at the beginning of the next session.
And it means you can start going into. Sure. What did you want to get in?
No, look, people want to go to bed. It's all good. We'll do it next fortnight.
Okay. Well, did anyone want to add anything before we finish up for the night?
No ads from me.
Okay.
I thought you'd signed off. You were so quiet.
Okay.
No, I've been making myself a little toasted sandwich. It's my pre-bed toasted sandwich.
Okay, so I'll put it on end credits then.
Thank you for that, Martin. Much appreciated.
All good.
Folks.
Good night, everyone. Bye.
Yeah.